He is the smoothest wide receiver in college. His film reminds me a bit of CeeDee Lamb's coming out of Oklahoma. Brian Thomas Jr., 15 receiving touchdowns this year, most in the nation, 1,079 receiving yards, 14th in college football, and he had 23 plays of 15 plus yards or more. He's been a part of the scariest trio in college football with Malik Nabers and Jaden Daniels, but will his college success translate to the pros? Let's take a look at the film. Cover one man, soft press on Thomas from Jason Marshall Jr., another possible draft pick this year. Brian's running a go route, and the thing that stands out about him is his release and footwork. He's a master of manipulating tempo. He changes the pace of his routes, the angle, the timings. He always keeps DBs guessing. Thomas eases into this route. Jackson opens his hips, trying to steer Thomas to the middle safety. Brian chops his feet like he's going to break and then bursts up the field, winning leverage and getting his team a big gain. He stayed completely in phase the whole route, and all of his movement looked as polished as can be. Here he's up against Kool-Aid McKinstry, arguably the best corner in the country. LSU runs a double post look over the middle, a perfect call versus Alabama's 3-on-2 coverage. Thomas reads this advantage pre-snap. He chops his feet and then accelerates up the field, beats Kool-Aid with his foot speed. Thomas doesn't look like he's running that fast, but he gains a lot of distance on Kool-Aid with those long strides. He knew that the other post route would take away the safety, so all he had to do was use his speed, and then he showed that he can run with one of the best in college football. And here's another example of him showing off his elite release ability. He's running a slant, displays his creativity, quick feet, wins the outside leverage, and then stops on a dime. Impressive change of direction, leaves Kool-Aid in the dust. Pass gets tipped, but Thomas's footwork is off the charts. He is the smoothest wide receiver in college. His film reminds me a bit of CeeDee Lamb's coming out of Oklahoma. Corners just can't keep up with his feet and route manipulation. Another nasty release here. This was the first play I saw on tape, and wow, I was impressed. He shoots himself forward with his left foot and then explodes off the same foot. Looks like he's walking on air. That is just not a natural movement. Pure filth. He completely catches the defender off guard and gives Jaden Daniels an easy touchdown opportunity. If he was featured more in this offense, he would have 30 touchdowns by now. Look at the speed on this deep post. Terrion Arnold playing super off man, respecting the pace. Doesn't matter though. Thomas Jr. cuts the distance, attacks Arnold's feet, and wins the route. Textbook. Gets in the DB's space and uses his speed up the field. Another possible touchdown. Thomas can really torch some NFL level corners. Working out of the trip stack, he's going to run a short spot route, but his movement after the catch is what caught my eye. He secures the catch, quickly becomes a ball carrier, and then easily makes this guy miss with a subtle juke. It's rare for a guy's lateral movement to be so effortless. He's got the goods. And he does really good work from the slot. All the space makes him difficult to cover. He runs a fade. DB is playing off man. As Thomas starts the route, he's reading the coverage. No pressure comes his way, so he knows he can use his speed to beat this guy. Great acceleration, tracks the ball well, and makes a great over-the-shoulder catch. If you don't get your hands on him, he's got the speed to get behind you. He combines nasty route running with a constant deep threat. You can't sit on something underneath when he can do this, and he tracks the ball well there. Here's an example of what he can do after the catch. Nice deep ball up the sideline here versus Florida State. He basket catches this, doesn't high point it, which I don't like, but he does turn up the field, makes guys miss, and turns a 30-yard gain into a long touchdown. Impressive playmaking ability. But like I mentioned, he does tend to basket catch a lot. I don't think I saw him really high point any balls on film. I think getting separation is the most key thing to being a good receiver in the NFL. But to be a superstar, you got to win contested catches, and you have to high point the ball. On this go route here, his technique costs him. Corner plays soft coverage. Thomas is wide open, and instead of attacking the pass with his hands, he attempts a basket catch and it leads to a drop. His catching technique is a legitimate cause for concern. Overall, Brian Thomas is a wide receiver I'd want on my team. He has elite release ability, great route running, gets himself open often, and has sneaky good acceleration. He gives DBs so many different looks and rhythms, making it difficult for them to cover him. He can win in all areas of the field and can make guys miss with the ball in his hands. He has such nuanced movement with everything he does. Always takes the right step. However, he's not convincing at the catch point. He needs to catch with his hands more. The basket catch technique can lead to drops and picks. Thankfully, he usually creates a lot of separation. I also didn't see any tough catches over the middle, so his competitive toughness is in the air as well. He's definitely a first-round talent. His release ability is arguably top of the class, and he gets open consistently. I'm interested to see where he lands in my final rankings. So those are my thoughts on Brian Thomas Jr. And let me know what you think about him in the comments and who I should look at in the next video. That's all from me, and I'm out.